Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 109 of the Sim Racing Show. And this week, Polyphony have quietly dropped what might be the biggest clue yet about a track that fans have wanted for years, because hidden alongside the Hypercar update, Polyphony added one of the most iconic motorsport locations in the world to Gran Turismo 7, and almost immediately the community started asking the same question. Are they now teasing the track itself? We'll break it down to a second. Also, Fanatec have announced a major free upgrade, so while other brands are busy selling new hardware, Fanatec is actually showing what can be done when you upgrade existing hardware. Is this how it should work in a long-term ecosystem? iRacing's latest season has landed with a brand new street circuit before the real drivers have even raced there. It's one of those. Rennsport, believe it or not, has dropped 2 major American tracks for free, and Aston Martin has revealed a simulator so expensive you could probably buy a real track car instead. It's probably also quicker than their Formula 1 car. Let's get into it. Gran Turismo skipped its May update, but I think most people will forgive it for that because the June update has delivered one of the strongest free car drops Gran Turismo has had in years, and into that new location. So 4 modern top-class endurance prototypes arrived in one go, hypercars from BMW, Porsche, Peugeot and Ferrari, and there was a 5th car, the Porsche 911 Turbo S safety car. So Polyphony can keep adding these modern current groups of machinery, whether it's hypercars, GT3s, maybe other classes as well, Formula 1 cars, instead of just leaving one car to represent an entire era. Gran Turismo 7 could slowly become a proper home for modern endurance racing on console. What will be more interesting is something Polyphony quietly tucked into this update alongside the new cars, because they have added Pikes Peak as a new Scapes location, and that has instantly got people asking the obvious question: is this finally the first real sign that we might get the track itself? And you can understand why people are reacting like that, because Pikes Peak is not just a random mountain road, it's one of the most iconic point-to-point events in motorsport, and Gran Turismo fans have wanted to see it properly returned for years. So the second it appeared in Scapes, people are now demanding it. That's not just a cool photo location, we actually want to drive it as well. But at the same time, people are understandably cautious because this is Polyphony we're talking about. Gran Turismo fan know better than most that just because something, not only if it appears in the game's world, doesn't mean it's going to become playable, but also if Gran Turismo actually have a license to it, like Pikes Peak, that also doesn't mean it's going to become playable in the game. But this is why it feels so interesting. The new hypercars are obviously the main headline, and rightly so, because they finally give Gran Turismo 7 something much closer to a believable modern endurance grid. The Polyphony are hinting at Pikes Peaks as well. This update might be remembered as something a lot more than just new cars. It might be the new direction of GT. Maybe we're going to go globetrotting with new tracks. Let me know in the comments, do you think Polyphony have just hinted at Pikes Peak, or do you think it's coming to either Gran Turismo 7 or Gran Turismo 8? And while Gran Turismo 7 players are busy looking for clues about what Polyphony might add next, Fanatec have confirmed a major free upgrade for people already inside their ecosystem, because Fanatec have announced that the CSL DD and Gran Turismo DD Pro owners will receive a free firmware update on June 16th, bringing FullForce support to those wheelbases. FullForce is designed to add another layer of detail to the wheel by transmitting higher frequency effects from compatible games. If it sounds like Treeforce, it's because it basically is. Now, the important detail here is that the update is free. It's not being paywalled. I'm looking at companies like VRS, looking at Simagic. This is not being paywalled. Existing CSL DD and GTDD Pro owners will not need to buy another wheelbase or a separate module or something to access it. They'll simply need the firmware update and a game, obviously, that fully supports FullForce. This is a strong ecosystem move from Fanatec because it does give older and more affordable hardware a meaningful new feature rather than keeping the latest technology locked behind the most expensive products. However, I'll have to go back to older episodes of the Sim Racing Show. Let me know if you can remember, but when I reviewed wheels that had FullForce, like the Fanatec Podium DD, but also the Club Sport DD Plus, I thought that Fanatec had said that that technology couldn't come to cheaper, older wheelbases, but that seems to have changed now. Now, there is some bad news from Fanatec because the Podium pedals have hit a delay. Fanatec have pushed the full 3-pedal version back to the 3rd quarter of 2026 after identifying quality control issues with the clutch pedal. That is disappointing for anyone who was preparing to pre-order the complete package. But on the other hand, delaying hardware to, make sure it's fixed is obviously a better outcome than shipping thousands of defective units and dealing with failures afterwards. To compensate, Fanatec have brought forward the launch of the 2-pedal Formula Podium to June 26. That version now also includes 2 free aluminium pedal plates, because normally it comes with the molded carbon ones, giving buyers a little extra value while the complete 3 pedal package is being finished. Bit of confusing news there from Fanatec, some great news on FullForce, some traditional news from Fanatec on the delay. Worth mentioning that, given Fanatec are delaying, we have to talk about the Thrustmaster T598. Whenever I make content on the T598, doing settings or wheel add-ons or whatever, there are so many people in the comments saying, I have had issues with my T598, and I don't think we can ignore it anymore. What are Thrustmaster doing about this? We asked them about this almost a year ago. They gave us a statement, I let you know about the Sim Racing show, but I'm not sure these issues have been fixed on the Thrustmaster T598. And while Fanatec are doing this free update and also delaying a product, Thrustmaster are actually bringing out a limited edition 499p Hypercar wheel that's over £800 or euros. It's very, very, very expensive. So it's just interesting for me to see the direction Fanatec's going in and the direction Thrustmaster's going in, because they're obviously massive competitors. By the way, I have a discount code for Fanatec. It's code Kireth, gives you 5% off. I have a creator code Kireth for Thrustmaster, but at the moment use Le Mans 2026 there as well. It will give you 15% off. So if you do decide to buy, do it in full knowledge of the issues that I let you know about in the Sim Racing show. Now let's move to iRacing, because Season 3 2026 also arrived last week. But the car list is not exactly the kind of thing that was going to set the community on fire. We've got 2 new Formula Vs, plus an Evo update for the BMW M Hybrid V8. So the Gran Turismo one's already out of date. The Euro NASCAR RCA one adding another entry-level stock racing car. The silver lining, however, was the addition of the free asterisk, because you've got to be subscribed to iRacing, BMW M2 Racing, but also iRacing adding NASCAR's latest street circuit, which is the Qualcomm circuit at Naval Base Coronado. This is NASCAR's new temporary street circuit built around a Californian naval base, and iRacing have recreated it before the real NASCAR Cup Series has even raced there. This is a seriously impressive turnaround and exactly the kind of real-world connection that iRacing can do so well. So players can learn the circuit before the real drivers arrive. It also means that iRacing has produced the first official sim version of a track. So the car list might feel fairly quiet, but the track is a genuinely unusual and timely addition. And Season 3 isn't just about adding cars and one new circuit, because there are some important upgrades to the wider iRacing platform as well. iRacing, and this is controversial, they won't tell you this, but I will. They say they completely rebuilt Laguna Seca from the ground up in the latest update, employing new laser scan data to enhance realism with 3-dimensional curves. However, it's now a paid track. And if you remember, when a lot of us subscribed to iRacing, Laguna Seca was a free asterisk track. You had to be subscribed. You can now no longer drive on that track. In official races, it's been put to Legacy, I think, and now the new track you need to pay for. This is the ugly side of iRacing's subscription service. Now, Dirt Racing also finally received AI support with a fuel cap calculator and track map widgets as well for all tracks, forming part of the Sim's ever-expanding Sim UI system. So let me know in the comments, what do you make of iRacing? A lot of moving parts there, some maybe anti-consumer stuff going on as well. Now, going from iRacing rebuilding Laguna Seca, that by the way is now free content in Racing, if I remember, Rennsport have just added that circuit, again, Laguna Seca, alongside another massive American track for free. So we'll speak about Rennsport in just a moment. But before that, a big thank you to today's sponsor of the Sim Racing Show. That is Asetek, and I've got it right here. Let's have a look, because this is Initium, which is Asetek's racing platform, and it's very customizable. I'm not sure a lot of people know about this, but when you get Initium, or when you start with Initium, you can customize almost every element. Let me give you an example. So with the wheelbase, it comes in as standard of 5 Newton meters, but I would be upgrading that with the boost pack to 8 Newton meters. And the pedal is not a load cell in the original bundle, but I 100% would be looking to upgrade that to the load cell, or even the hydraulic brake upgrade that Asetek do for Initium. So Initium is very customizable. It's not meant to be something that you take off the shelf and you never mod it. You're meant to mod it in the Initium family. So let me know what you think. Big thanks to Asetek for sponsoring the Sim Racing Show. Now, Rennsport's Coast to Coast update finally arrived last week, bringing 2 major American circuits to the Sim completely free of charge. The 2 tracks are Laguna Seca and Sebring International Raceway, which is actually a very strong combination. Laguna Seca obviously gives you the elevation changes, the corkscrew, and the technical challenge, while Sebring brings the bumps, the endurance atmosphere, and the kind of surface that, as I always say, kind of exposes whether a sim is actually good at road feel or not. Now, the previously promised Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 RS was missing from the update, so while the 2 free circuits is good value, it still feels like Rennsport is struggling to deliver everything. And we're seeing a lot of sims in this sim racing show. GT7 doing skates for Pikes Peaks but not adding Pikes Peaks. iRacing, not depreciating Laguna Seca. Fanatec not bringing the podium pedals. Thrustmaster not fixing T598. Rennsport delaying the Porsche. Like, there's a lot of stuff in sim racing. It feels like brands and companies are trying to go really fast and they're not able to deliver everything. I think that is because of the insane competition in the space. Could there be too much competition in the space? Sounds crazy, but potentially. Now, the Rennsport update did also introduce a second stage of their AI overhaul. This is obviously important because AI has been one of the real weak areas in Rennsport. In theory, this should make racing more stable and predictable, but as always with Rennsport, is doing quite a lot of heavy lifting there, so we need to see how it behaves across different tracks, grids, and hardware setups. Still, 2 free high-profile tracks and more work on the AI are obviously steps in the real direction. And from 2 free circuits to the complete opposite end of sim racing for something that costs more than many actual cars, so Aston Martin have revealed the AMR CO1R Hypercar simulator. It uses a carbon fiber monocoque and takes design inspiration from the number 007 and 009 Aston Martin Valkyrie hypercars that have competed at Le Mans this year. So visually, it is clearly designed to feel like an extension of Aston Martin's real racing program rather than just a normal sim rig with some stickers added. Now, only 24 examples will be produced, and it costs, get ready for this, £58,000, £58,750 before taxes. That is an extraordinary amount of money for a simulator, even by premium sim racing standards. You could build several extremely serious motion rigs for that amount and still have money left over for the PCs, displays, wheels, pedals, and probably even your very own real-world track car. But this is clearly not being sold as a sensible performance per pound option. It's a limited edition Aston Martin design object aimed at collectors who want something rare, dramatic, and connected to the company's hypercar program, and maybe not the F1 program. That's been the Sim Racing Show for this week. Make sure to follow me on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as well, and I'll see you in the next episode.